Let me tell y'all about the time me and my best friend almost caught an escape charge in the prison and we wasn't even trying to escape. Okay, let me set the scenery for you. We on the compound, we chilling, we talking, we having a good time. And we just talking about the free world and what we gonna do when we get out. We forgot about time. All of a sudden, I look around because I don't hear anybody, because you usually hear yelling, hear the inmates pushing carts and all this stuff, and I didn't hear any noise. So I peeked, looked around. We were the only ones on the compound, except for this sergeant. Now, mind you, it's recall, almost count time. When they say recall, you got 5 minutes to make it to your dorm. If you don't make it to your dorm in 5 minutes and you get caught on that compound, when they say count time, you going to jail and you gonna get an escape charge. When I say you going to jail, I mean you going to confinement, the jail within the prison, and you gonna get an escape charge. So we just chalking it up, and I looked around. There was nobody on the compound, y'all. And I was like, Jen, where everybody at? And she was like, oh my goodness, it's count time. So we walked to the edge because we were standing under the canteen area, and we peeped and we looked toward medical. Now there was this little short lady, and I'm gonna say her name. Her name's Sergeant Gall. She was a very big disciplinarian. She was a little short lady, but her voice commanded attention. I'm talking about this lady could scream so good that her screaming to make you put your hands behind your back and just go on to jail. This lady, she did not play the radio. I'm not going to say she was nasty, because she was a fair lady. She just did not play the radio. You don't want to go up against Sergeant Gall. She about this short right here. I don't care. I'd rather go up against a 6 feet man than to mess with Sergeant Gall. She was walking up and down in the vicinity, in that area. There was no way out. I look at G and I say, man, I don't know how we gonna get out of here. I said, because Sergeant Gall's standing right there. So Sergeant Gall, she started coming that way, right? And she was walking fast. So when she got up in the area, we was like, oh man, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? Now we was up under the area where the canteen ladies were. And there was like 3 canteen doors. And all the canteen workers went inside their little canteen area and they shut their door. So Sergeant Gall, she started running. And when she got up there, we heard her get on the radio. She say, I just saw 2 inmates. I just saw 2 inmates. I saw 2 inmates in this area. I know I'm not crazy. So she started banging on all the canteen doors. Bah, 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 bah. Bah, 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 bah. So the girls opening their doors, they was like, yes, ma'am, Sergeant Gall. Yes, ma'am, Sergeant Gall. She was like, how many inmates in there? They was like, it's just me. So she went in there. She was checking. Bah, go to the next one. She was checking. She went to the next one. She was checking. Listen, there was a big box sitting up under the canteen, y'all. I'm talking about one of them boxes like if you buy a wash machine and the wash machine comes inside this big box. We had nowhere else to go. Jen and I, we had to think fast. We got inside the box. We pulled the top down over us. And there, where you pick the box up, the 2 handles right there. We was looking, we was like this right here. And she was standing right there. She was like, I'm not crazy. There was 2 inmates. She was on her radio dispatching to all the other officers and sergeants to be on the lookout because there is 2 inmates on the compound. She saw them. She's not crazy. And they're running around somewhere. And I can't find them. I checked every canteen. I saw them take off running. And we in the box like this. And and I'm looking at Jen looking at me. I'm like, man, we got to get out of here. We going to jail. So Sergeant Gall, now remind you, we have 5 minutes to get to this dorm before they say count time. 3 minutes already done elapsed. So I'm saved at this time too. I'm saved. I'm praying in my spirit. I'm like, nothing's coming out my mouth, but in my spirit, I'm talking to God. Like, God, you got to help us out of this, man. We wasn't doing nothing wrong. We was just talking, Lord. time just slipped past us, man. And I'm just praying in my spirit. So Sergeant Gall, she's still on the radio. She was like, we need to find those inmates. We need to find those inmates. And she was screaming and yelling. So she started walking and she turned her back. When she turned her back, we was back there in the box and we hadn't come out the box. We were looking like, oh Lord, oh Lord. So when she turned her back, she went and she started walking towards medical this way. We needed to go this way. And mind you, our dorms was like 2 football fields away. That's how far we were from our dorms. So we had to get all the way on the other side of the compound. She had to go this way. I had to go another way once we get all the way down the hill, like going down the Green Mile. No lie. So I'm like, I don't know how we gonna do this. So when she went the other way, we started walking toward our dorm. So I tell you what, we walking, and boy, we just walking. We walking, boy, we stiff walking, and we trying to, I'm like, in that moment, I'm like, you see me? She like, you see me? I said, I don't see you. She like, I don't see you either. So we just walking right, and we praying to God that this lady do not turn around and say, inmates, come in, cuff up. Because that's just what she would have did. So we just walking in. While we walking, right? One thing about prison, man, you got to act like you know what you're doing. You cannot act scared. So I was like, bump it, man. Something just came over me. I was like, Jen, man, we going to act like we legit. Like, it ain't our fault we out here late. So we just started walking regular. Like, we going to our dorm, man, bump it. So we passed by a couple officers. We was like, oh, yeah, we on the way. We on the way. We on the way. We just left medical, man. They just released us out of medical because sometimes they do release you late out of medical. So it was like, we act like it wasn't our fault and we was actually trying to really get to our dorm. We was walking with purpose. And then we started jogging. We like, we got you. We on the way. We on the way. But man, listen. So she went her way. I went my way. And we walked in the dorm. So when I walked in the dorm, my dorm sergeant was like, Tree, it's count time. So now they already walking around the bed and they counting. Both officers out on the floor, they count. So I'm knocking on the door. She looked back. She like, Trey, it's count time. I say, yes, ma'am. We just left medical. See, man, you got to always know how to give an answer. See, soft answer turns away wrath. You can't be coming at them officers with that rah when you know you wrong. You got to humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's just life, period. When you know you wrong, man, humble yourself. You done got to work late. Man, don't come with that crazy stuff. Don't come with them attitudes. I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I know it's count. They kind of released me late from medical. I ain't want to sit down there through and count because I already know when they start having no recounts, man, it'd be uncomfortable, Sarge. So, I just asked the lady at the last minute, can I go ahead on and run to the dorm? And she did allow me to run to the dorm. And I just told her, I say, man, I had seen Sergeant Gall and I kind of like froze up a little bit because I know that she's real strict about us going to the dorm at the last minute. So I kind of ducked off a little bit to just get out of her sight because I know she would have turned us around and made us go back inside the medical area. I say, but, when she turned her back, I kind of just went ahead and I left. She was like, all right, go on, get on your bed. I was like, yes, ma'am. But, man, listen, I thank God, boy, we made it. Y'all be blessed now, you hear?